Hi, boys and girls. All right, so for our Bible story this week, we're going to talk about how Thomas sees Jesus from the book of John. All right, before we get started, I want to show you our word for this week, which is live. Live. Right, so Jesus died, but then he rose again, and then he lives, right? He lives. All right, so we're going to read the story and then we're going to work on this little activity after. All right, so Thomas sees Jesus from John 20, verses 24 through 29. It was Easter night. Jesus' friends were scared and sad because he had died on the cross. They had heard he was alive again, but most of them had not seen him alive yet. They were together in a room with the door locked. Jesus' disciple Thomas was not with them. Suddenly, Jesus came and stood beside them. He said, "Peace be with you." Jesus did not want his disciples to be afraid anymore. After the visit, Jesus left them. When Thomas came back, the disciples said, "We have seen the Lord." Thomas was very sad. He said, "I will not believe until I touch his hands and his side." The next Sunday, Jesus came to visit his friends again. Jesus said, "Peace be with you." He looked at Thomas and said, "Touch me and see." Jesus wanted Thomas to know that he was really alive. Then Thomas was happy. He shouted, "My Lord and my God!" Jesus said, "Happy are those who have not seen and yet have believed." All right, so this story is about how Thomas didn't believe because he didn't see Jesus. Right? Do you ever find it hard to believe something really happened? Okay, so in our Bible story, that's what happened with Thomas. He couldn't believe that Jesus was alive because he hadn't seen him. And he said, right? "I will not believe until I touch his hands and his side." He needed proof. All right, let's look at the picture at the top of the page. Let's look at this picture right here. Okay, let's look at the words. "Peace be with you." That's what Jesus told them. Peace be with you. Okay, let's look at Jesus' friends, the disciples. Okay, first they looked a little surprised, right? But then they were happy and they were no longer afraid because they saw Jesus. Okay, but Thomas had more sad days because he hadn't seen Jesus. So let's use your crayon. You need a red crayon, or it could be orange. And we're going to look at the days of the week right here. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we're going to draw a sad face in each of these boxes. We're going to draw a sad face for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, so draw a sad face in each of those days. Okay, and then remember, you could pause this and then put your crayons down and listen. Okay, so now look at the picture of Thomas and Jesus down here. You see the picture of Thomas and Jesus? Okay, read with me what Jesus said. "Touch me and see." So he's showing Thomas that he really is the Savior and that he is alive. And Thomas wanted to touch Jesus to make sure it was really him, right? So now Thomas is not afraid anymore. So Jesus said to him, "Happy or blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." He wanted all of us to know by faith that he is really alive. So even though Thomas had all these sad days, I want you to draw a happy face right here. Okay, draw a happy face there, because when Thomas got to see Jesus, he was happy. He had a lot of sad days, but then he had a happy day. So draw a happy face at the end of that week. Okay, so at the end of this week, draw a happy face. All right, let's go over our Bible verse for this week. It says, "We believe that Jesus died and rose again." 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 14. Okay, so that is our verse for this week. All right, good job, guys.